Hi, my name is Leah, better known as Lady Leah. I'm a DJ, I'm a business owner, I'm an artist manager and booking agent. Pre-COVID, I was DJing a lot and I was doing a lot of artist bookings, and we were really, building this great empire. And then COVID hit and things kind of changed. Now I'm still doing artist management, but it's a lot less than what it used to be, as well as gigs. I'm now doing a mentoring program for young and upcoming artists that want to learn how to DJ and create their brand. And I do a couple of other little things on the side that I'm passionate about. I've got my own range of chili sauces, and I have a website for ladies that want to buy health and wellness products and lifestyle products. So I've been sort of wiggling my way through the crazy COVID pandemic and trying to do everything that I can. But essentially I feel like I'll always be a DJ. I'll always have my businesses running in the music industry and health and lifestyle. And it's a crazy time at the moment. You really have to think out of the box and do whatever you can. But, keep it real and do what you love is what I think is the field that you're going to eventually thrive in. And when COVID first broke and all of our gigs started to be cancelled, it was a very scary moment. We obviously only thought it was going to be 3 weeks, although I kind of knew it would be longer. I was predicting about 3 months. It was difficult to accept that I had to, tell all my DJs that all of their gigs were cancelled, as well as mine. And obviously financially, I started to panic a little bit. What can you say? I mean, we just had to accept it. And, you kind of had to start phoning banks and asking for payment holidays and these kinds of things, and thinking it would only be 1 to 3 months. And as much as we got, holidays and breaks and stuff like that, it definitely wasn't enough. It's now a year later, and all of those things came to a halt. There was no help after 3 months, and it was very crazy. I'm lucky I've got a support system at home. Otherwise, I probably would have lost my home. I did lose my car. I had to sell some of my gear. So, and I'm not embarrassed about it. You can't be. You have to survive. So you got to do what you got to do. Some industries went back to work, and it kind of like the levels started going down, and we thought, okay, level 1, maybe we're going to start getting gigs and that kind of thing. And every time there was an announcement for the levels, the only thing that stood out was except nightclubs, And nightclubs comes with a whole team of people. It's not just the club, it's the cleaners, the DJs, the photographers, the bar staff, everything. So there was this pocket of people in South Africa or in the world that were just completely disregarded. And there's no help, there's no relief. It was like we didn't matter, I kind of felt sometimes like, did I choose the right industry? Like, do I actually matter in this world? If I'm not essential in any way, shape or form, no one really cares about artists when it comes to relief and government and that kind of thing, and we're not essential, and I've always felt like music and laughter and enjoyment and dancing is essential to someone's life, and it just kind of made me question whether I chose the right path in my life, and who am I actually, and do I matter in this world? So right now it's still the same. Level 1, no nightclubs, the performances are mostly online. And, I think everybody in this industry, when it comes to the artists and the people that come to the events, they really want that interaction and that human connection. So online events and that never really stimulated me, in any way. maybe there was small financial benefit, but emotionally, it didn't really help playing to a screen when you're used to being with people and getting that energy from them, So it's tough when people make you feel like you are not necessary in this world, and what you're doing you should probably change what you're doing, is literally what they're saying. You literally should do something that matters in this world. So it kind of makes you feel really terrible. So it did take a toll on me also emotionally, and my stress levels went up, with lockdown. What do? I mean, you just end up eating a lot. You end up drinking wine, whenever you feel like it's, gaining weight, feeling terrible about yourself. Everyone went through it. And then you feel even worse about yourself a month later. And you kind of want to get yourself back on your feet, but you kind of keep getting blocked, You can't do much. You can't go to the gym. You can't go to a gig. You can't feel like yourself again. And it was really hard. There were a lot of moments when I was crying, and my partner had to console me, and and there were times when I just didn't know what to say to my artists. They're like, what's happening next? What can we do? How do we make money? And I'm just kind of throwing my hands up, and we are always trying to get creative with different ideas. We raised funds for a little while, and I was able to give everybody something, but that's going to be gone in 2 days. It's been a year, so it's been tough watching everyone hustle, but I do think it's also opened everybody's minds to trying to do more and thinking outside of the box and looking inside of themselves and thinking, okay, what can I do? What do I love doing? And what am I able to do other than playing at a gig, So mostly negatives, but there is some positivity that has come out of this. But really, we just all want to get back to our old lives, playing music for people, making people happy, being able to, financially sustain ourselves and feeling good about ourselves. Because as an artist, you kind of feel like you've lost a piece of yourself when you can't perform and you don't see people and you can't DJ or sing or whatever it is that you do. Even for me, it was a thing of like not getting dressed up, not putting makeup on. It really made me feel like I'd lost Lady Leah a little bit, and now I'm just Leah, Mommy Leah. But you have to keep pulling yourself out that hole, keep pushing. So yeah, in December, we had a big December plan. We had New Year's parties, festivals, all with sort of social distancing, masks, sanitizer. Everything was done according to the regulations, and there were a lot of gigs coming in, and we were all super excited that we were going to get back to somewhat of a normal life. And yeah, just as Christmas happened, so did another lockdown, and all New Year's gigs and everything were cancelled once again. And it was just like we sort of fell back into that hole. It was very depressing. And yeah, even now we're back at level 1. And we can have smaller events, sort of like at restaurants and that kind of thing. So that is helping to a degree, but it still isn't the same as that like massive dance floor feeling. And the festivals and that kind of thing, when you're playing at these smaller events, with people sitting and eating, you can't really like pick the vibe up as much as you'd like to. It's kind of more of a groovy background vibe. So I'm hopeful that things are going to keep progressing for the better, and possibly, once the vaccine has rolled out to approximately 60 to 70% of the population, which I'm not sure how long that's going to take. I'm hoping that by this December, it might have reached that amount of people. Then we can come back to some sort of normality. But I don't think it will be the massive festival gatherings. at least until sort of mid-2022, I think. And in order to get there, people do need to be a bit more responsible. I won't lie, I like the fact that people need to sanitize all the time. I was a big sanitizer before COVID. I always had it in my car handbag, and, kids out of school, sanitize, out of gigs. That was just me. And I don't know if I'm a bit of a germaphobe, but other people were just like completely careless, I like the fact that people need to try and stay more hygienic and clean. So I think that would need to continue. Every venue, everywhere you go, keep sanitizing, because in general, I think for health, it's a good idea. Yes, go into the bush sometimes and get dirty and get your immunity. Yes, I understand that. But, living in a city, people picking their nose and scratching their butts, you don't really want that on your hands. So I think that should continue. Masks, I'm not so sure about, but I think people are now aware that they shouldn't be like breathing down people's faces, in their personal space. So even if masks aren't a thing, I think some sort of private space distancing should continue. I kind of like that, unless you're very good friends, give a little hug. But, you don't want to go and kiss everybody on the lips. It's just not something you should be doing, unless it's your partner. So, and then, just trying to stay healthy. Health is, I think, the lesson that we all need to learn is staying healthy, keeping fit, eating well. As long as you're healthy, you've got a better chance at surviving. So let's all, I think, focus on being healthy, fit, clean, and, trying to get back to normal life. It's going to take a little bit of effort from everybody, And if you don't have to go out, don't go out. But if you really need to go out, then go and have a great time, but stay responsible. And for all of our sakes, I really hope we can get back to normal life and meet each other on the dance floor really soon.